time to show you how I painted the peacock from beginning to end. I always start by covering the canvas with a solid color to make sure that no white canvas is showing in the end. And then I just start drawing in the basic details and blocking out the colors to make sure I like the layout of the image before I start getting into the more in-depth details. This is one of the flashy elements that I'm going to use on some of the feathers. And yes, I did cut each one of those out by hand. It might be time for me to invest in some sort of cutting machine. And then I had to tape off a lot of the sections to get that crisp line before getting into the final details. I worked from 7 a.m. to midnight some days on this piece, thinking that I could get it done in 1 week. But I underestimated how much detail this painting required. In the end, I think I spent 120 working hours on this piece. I kept going back and forth in my mind on how much resin I wanted to use, how flashy I wanted this painting to be, and how realistic I wanted it to look. In the end, I really just loved how beautifully designed a peacock is, and decided to think from a design perspective, keeping my full attention on the feathers of the bird and choosing to think of the neck and the face as just a side element to an abstract piece of art. So I filled 10 mini squeeze bottles with 10 different colors of paint pouring mediums and filled each empty space on the feathers with those paint pouring acrylics. Once those were fully dry, I mixed up 3 different blues with a heavy paste so that I could create a textured feather look on the neck of the peacock. While that was drying, I was able to peel off all the contact paper from the flashy thin sheets of plexiglass I attached to the beginning of the painting, and look at how flippin' cool they look. And then it was time to pour resin. So I added contact paper where I wanted to add the resin, and then I cut out those shapes, sealed the edges of the contact paper with a clear gloss so that none of the resin would seep through, waited for that to dry, and then I poured the resin. I let it dry for a few hours. I had sprinkled this product called diamond dust glitter, which is little shards of glass. So be very careful if you use this product, but it's seriously the most sparkly glitter you'll ever see. Then all that was left to do was to let that cure for 24 hours before adding the final touches on the neck, which was just a blue metallic leaf and Swarovski crystals on the head. And after all that work, it felt so nice to take it outside and see what it looked like in the sunshine and applaud myself for how much patience I had with this one. I'm kidding. I hope you like it as much as I enjoyed creating it. And as always, the final painting from beginning to end is always the one that I need to get pushed out the most. So liking, commenting, sharing, watching all the way through, maybe even a second time. Those are all things that are so helpful when it comes to getting my art and prints sold. So thank you in advance for your support. I should mention that the original of this painting already sold, which I'm so thankful for, but print pre-orders are available on my site.